Okay, welcome to Team LWoTB Lesson 1. This is your host, Coach Carl. And before we dive into the first honest and truthful reason you've struggled to lose weight and improve your health and fitness, I just again want to give you a huge congratulations. You are doing something right now that 90% of the population will never do, and it is taking serious concrete steps to improve your health and fitness. And I cannot commend you enough for that. And I cannot tell you how excited I am to join you on this journey because I know the results that you're going to get, and I'm so excited to help you along every step of that path. So let's get started. The first rule of true health and true fitness. Now, when I said that the first honest and truthful reason, really how I want you to think about that going forward is I want you to think of that reason as a rule, because this is a rule that you're going to follow if you honestly and truthfully are ready for change, which of course you are. Otherwise, you would not be on our amazing team. So let's keep going. Telling the truth and making someone cry is better than telling a lie and making someone smile. I'm sure you'd agree with that. So rule number 1 is stop lying to yourself. What do I mean by that? Well, maybe you remember Laura. Laura is one of my clients that's just had amazing success, and she is now what I consider to be a family member. We've gotten extremely close. If you remember Laura, I asked her, Laura, when it comes to your goals of losing weight and improving your health and fitness, how have you been lying to yourself? Now, Laura looked at me and she said, Carl, what the heck are you talking about? I don't lie to myself when it comes to that stuff. I know exactly where I am, which is why I'm seeing you, so I can make some changes. I said, okay, Laura, let me put it to you this way. Let's go over some of the reasons you don't exercise as often as you know you should or can't seem to stick with your diet. She said, okay, let's do that. Now, in terms of not exercising enough, this is what Laura gave me in terms of her reasons. She said, I don't have time. I'm so busy with work. The kids have so many activities. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to working out, and it doesn't work anyways. Now, when it came to not sticking with her diet, this is what Laura had for me. She said it's just this once in terms of the cravings that she would give into on a just this once, aka almost everyday basis. Said eating healthy is so hard. Prepping healthy food just takes too much time. It takes way too long to see results that I want. She said diets don't work for me. And I have my period. That one I found curious, and as a man, we're not allowed to comment on that, so I'm not going to. Moving on. Laura and I are extremely close now, and we were very close in the beginning as well, just like you and I are going to be very soon. And I asked her if I could give her what are my interpretations of what she just told me. And I forewarned her, telling her, listen, I'm going to be a little blunt here, and I don't sugarcoat things because I want you to get results. So sugarcoating is not going to help. She said, okay, sure, let's go to it. I explained to Laura that her reasons, as some people might call them excuses, aren't even excuses. They're actually lies. And behind each one of those lies is the actual truth. So I'm going to go over a few of her lies so that we can get to what the truth actually is. When Laura said, I don't have time, I told her, your health just isn't a priority for you. When she told me, I'm so busy with work, I told her work's more important than your health. She said, the kids have so many activities. I told her, you're not making time for yourself important. She'd tell me it's just this once with regards to giving into her cravings. I told her, you know it's not just this once, and it's not going to be the last. She'd tell me eating healthy is so hard. I'd tell her, you're just justifying your poor eating habits to avoid taking responsibility. She'd tell me prepping healthy food just takes too much time. I'd tell her eating healthy just isn't important enough to you to devote time to food prep. Laura would tell me it takes too long to see results. I'd tell her you've fallen into the instant gratification belief system, which companies pay millions of dollars in marketing to get you to believe that you can have the body you want in 30 days, which is BS. She'd say diets don't work for me. I'd tell her you haven't found the right plan for you. And another truth behind that one is you probably just haven't given whatever plan you're on enough time. Then she'd tell me I have my period, in which case I'd tell her you have your period. Conversation over. I'm not stupid. That's where it ends. Obviously, after having somebody point out what you thought were reasons and not only turning them into excuses, but turning them to lies and maybe pointing out some truth that you may not have been aware of, you're going to take it personally. And that's exactly what Laura did. And she kind of lashed out at me a little bit, and she's totally entitled. And she came back at me with something along the lines of, why are you being so cold and negative about all this, Carl? And I totally understood where she was coming from. So I had to explain something to her. I had to say, you know what, Laura, I'm not being cold about this. You're just confusing my observations for my judgments. And I want to pause there for a second, because when you mention that you don't have time, all that means is that your health isn't a priority right now. You have other priorities. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, because there isn't. However, if you say that you want to lose weight and you want to improve your health and fitness, you can't go ahead and say that you don't have time, because the fact of the matter is you're just taking that time and you're dedicating it to other things, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. However, you can't hide behind the fact that you don't have time. You just need to face the reality and the truth that health is not a priority for you right now. So if you want to make health a priority, you're going to need to look that lie dead in the eyes, come up with your own truth, and make some changes. And then I continue on telling her, bottom line is that whatever you're telling yourself, it's just filled with lies. But underneath those lies, we will find the truth. And that's exactly where you and I are going to go right now. So do any of Laura's lies resonate with you or sound familiar to you? My guess is probably more than one do. So where do we go from here? Before the truth can set you free, you need to realize which lie is holding you hostage. So here's what you and I are going to do now. So we've come to your first task, the very first task you're going to have with Team LWoTB. What you're going to do is you're going to write down at least 5 lies you've been telling yourself with regards to your fitness and nutrition, just like Laura and I did. Then what you're going to do is you're going to write down what the non-judgmental, factual truth is behind those lies. Now, to help you out with this, I could help Laura discover what her non-judgmental, factual truths are, because I'm not attached to that. So what you can do to help yourself is imagine that those lies that you wrote down aren't your lies, but they're a friend of yours. So you're going to look at them from a non-judgmental, factual truth point of view so that you can get to what the truth is behind those lies. And then lastly, what you're going to do is you're going to write down what you want your new empowering truth to be for each one of those current truths. Now, before you go ahead and do that though, what I want to do right now is just kind of go over a few of the examples that Laura came up with for her new truths that ended up being way more empowering and led to the behavior she needed to get the results that we got. One of her old truths was, your health is not a priority. That was non-judgmental and factual. It just wasn't a priority. She came up with, I am making my health a priority, and then her behaviors modeled after that. She had the old truth of work is more important than your health, because she was very busy at work and she used that as an excuse, which is really a lie, as to why she wasn't getting to the gym or prepping food. Her new truth, new empowering truth, was no matter how busy I get at work, I do what needs to be done for my health. Very empowering. Lastly, you're not making time for yourself important. This had to do because she had so many activities with her kids that she got incredibly busy. And she came up with this, and it proved to be quite a turning point for her. The quality of my life is dependent on the quality of my health, so my health will always be a priority. If you have truths like that, your behaviors are going to follow. Now, the second part of your first task, as I mentioned in the welcome message, is to post your most valuable takeaway or your MVT from this lesson on the Team LWoTB Facebook page so that we can all learn from each other and help each other grow. One more thing before you do all that though, there's something very important you need to realize. You are an incredibly courageous soul for completing this task, and I want you to know that it's my mission to continue to support you so that you love yourself enough to realize the best version of yourself you can imagine. I cannot stress that enough. So to recap, here's what we're going to do. You're going to write down what are the biggest lies you've been telling yourself. Then you're going to write down what are the truths behind those lies, the non-judgmental, factual truths. And lastly, what are your new empowering truths? You're going to email those all to me, and you're going to post your post on Facebook page, and together as a team, everyone is going to be happy, be healthy, and get results.